All right, so let's talk some basketball for tonight. um, let's see. So basically, we're starting off with the OKC game. I thought this was a little more important than some of the other ones, other than one other one that we'll get into later. But basically, I just wanted to see how OKC was doing, and finally, finally, the Jazz are officially out of the playoffs tonight. After tonight, basically. So that's kind of cool. Just for OKC, I think it's just the consistency in defensive on the defensive end, basically, because you got Josh Giddey who plays good defense, but I think most of these guys play good defense. It's just that they need to figure out their identity, basically, and just figure out that they just need a better understanding of the defensive end, basically. And then, but later on in their careers, I think they'll get that down. So, not too worried about that. They're still young, the youngest team in basketball. The other thing was basically they were getting killed on the glass and don't have a true center, basically. Again, I'm not worried about that because they have Chet Holmgren, or basically just Chet. Basically, they just got Chet. And, yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's just, right now, they're getting killed on rebounds, and they don't have, a guy who just holds down the paint, basically. But, yeah, for the Jazz, I mean, just great season overall. Congrats, guys, for beating all the odds, literally. You got a bright future for you guys, Lauri Markkanen. You still got Jordan Clarkson still there. Walker Kessler, who's going to be probably a future DPOY. Yeah, so next game that I wanted to talk about was the Heat versus the Sixers. So basically what the announcers and all the media kept on talking about that tonight about them was basically that the 76ers were afraid to go against the Heat. And I mean, from tonight I could see why. They were just kidding. I mean, the 76ers were just getting killed in the transition. In transition, man. We're talking about two. They're talking about two teams basically that are just once they have a set defense, they'll be fine. But also they're just two of the slowest teams in the world in the game right now, basically. Their pace is just slower. Is obviously slower than most teams out there, and because of that, the Heat with their transition offense just killed them. And they just kept running the floor, especially when you have Jimmy and Tyler on the floor, and Kyle. But what I wanted to talk about was also too, for the 76ers, this team has pretty much no depth. And I say that because you have literally Joel Embiid playing the most minutes out there, 30 minutes when he's about to go into the playoffs. And I mean, in the playoffs he's going to play that amount of minutes basically anyways, or more. But for this, he needed rest, and he couldn't even get rest because and this was happening most in the regular season, because whenever he got out, there was nobody to. Because what are you going to do? You have Montrezl Harrell step in, or Dwayne Dedmon? No. I mean, I know it's hard to find a true backup center, but 76ers, after this game, I don't feel confident in them making it to the finals, basically. I see them at best just going to the conference finals, and that's it. Also, two other things. One, Tobias Harris needs to step up, because coming from this game, you could see when Tobias Harris stepped up and started playing and getting into his role, then they were starting to get back into it. But it's hard to say that because you basically have him as the fourth scoring option when he should be the third. But I don't know how to do that as a coach. As a coach, I wouldn't know how to do that, but I just know that Tobias needs to be basically he needs to be the third option, and that's also mostly because he hasn't stepped up to be that basically. And the second thing is PJ Tucker is not who he used to be. You guys got him with the mindset that he will be the defense for you guys, and he'll just shoot threes in the corner whenever you guys pass out to him. But he's been shooting awful for the past couple games. I mean, 1 for 2 this game, which was not even a three-pointer, it's just from the field. He needs to be scoring, man, and he needs to be scoring more than 2 points a game. That's because this is getting. I think this team next year is going to be a completely different team, and it's just you basically lost. You basically had Harden give up some money just to get him, and it didn't work. It's not working out right now. So, that's enough of that team. But the Heat, I think Hero needs to be like this for the playoffs if they want to succeed, basically. Because you need him to basically score, and you need Lowry to do what he did tonight. Just play good defense, just play make, and do what he needs to do on the offensive side. Just pass out the ball, make the right decisions, do the right things on the defensive end as well. He needs to be like that for the rest of the playoffs. I don't think you might get that out of him for the rest of the playoff season. We'll see. And then Jimmy Butler was just Jimmy Butler tonight. Like he just killed it. There's not much tonight. Just like media was like, oh, 76ers definitely don't want to go against the Heat in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, nope. I think none of the top three teams want to go against the Heat, just because the Heat are the Heat. They're gonna run them to Game 7 at most. So, I don't really want to talk about this one too much because the Nuggets didn't play their main guys, and I was kind of expecting to, even though it shouldn't have, because they're gonna just rest their guys. But for this Suns team, they need to be consistent. I think that's why why coach was basically just playing all his guys tonight. It's just because he needs to figure out that consistency in this team. Because this team and bench players should not be this close in the game, like at all. It should have not been this close of a game. I mean, if Kevin Durant wasn't there, this team would just, I think, fall flat against them, which is it was just kind of crazy to say. And then, I mean, Chris Paul was doing cool things tonight for them. Yeah, Chris Paul was just killing it tonight too. The thing was, I was talking about DeAndre Ayton, like just getting lost in all this. But the person that I was just like confused on is like, wait, while I was watching the game, I was like, wait a second, where's Devin Booker? And I go and see he shoots 3 for 12 for the field. I'm like, what happened tonight? And I think it's just also that consistency thing, where KD or Chris Paul has the ball most of the time, and usually Devin Booker has the ball. So I think it's just him trying to figure out how to spot up and also catch and shoot. But yeah, like I was just so confused on where Devin Booker was tonight, because he really didn't do anything. So that was kind of confusing. But yeah, again, I think it's just the consistency off this team, what they need to figure out. And yeah, I mean, KD is KD. This like shot 50% from the field, 60 from 3. KD is just KD. So, but I did want to give a shout out to Uncle Jeff Green and the Browns, C Brown and B Brown. I mean, I want to shout them out because most of the season, whenever guys are out, Bruce Brown has been kind of stepping up, especially when KCP's been out. I know Bruce Brown is just like, he's been a great guy for this team. He steps up when he needs to, and they got him at a great price. The Nuggets really got a steal there for him. And but yeah, also Christian Brown is kind of great pickup in the draft too. So glad to see him prosper in his role. And then yeah, Uncle Jeff Green just, I mean, he's had some of the craziest dunks this year, and one of the dunks when, yeah, he's just had he's been having a crazy season, and glad to see him just ball out tonight. The only thing that I gotta say about this team is Thomas Bryant. What? Like, talk about getting lost. Like, he was not even playing, and this man wanted to trade just because he thought he needed more minutes. And he's getting less minutes than DeAndre Jordan in this game, or Zeke Naji. Like, this coach, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to play him, man. He was like really, I don't know if maybe it is because Thomas Bryant isn't actually that good as what we think he is, especially when he was playing for the Lakers. But like, I was so confused. Like, you're just playing all your, I mean, you're literally just playing all your bench players. Like, why is Thomas Bryant not even playing in this? So I was just confused on that. But that's enough of that game. There's not much to say about that Blazers and Spurs game. It was just kind of cool. Whatever. Just guys getting experience in games and stuff like that. So that was cool. But for the Cavs versus the Magic, I mean, that first quarter of Jalen Suggs was killing it. So I was happy to see that. I'm happy to see that he was balling out tonight too. Chetty Osman and Danny Green were just killing it the whole game. Also, I wanted to talk about Isaiah Mobley. I was like, oh my, because I was so confused. Like, Mobley, what the hell? Come to find out, Evan Mobley has a brother. So shout out to Isaiah Mobley for making the G League. Read up on some stuff of him, so that's cool. Anyways, hope you guys had a good night. Hope you guys enjoyed basketball. And yeah, so have a good night.